Thank you. Purva, can you take up on what he said about the skills and tell us a little bit more about what are the skills that we are likely to need, new skills that we are likely to need, upskilling that we would need?
So absolutely, I'm going to just walk across there. I want to share some stats as well. I don't know how you will see it, but okay. I want to tell you that reskilling and upskilling is happening. And it is not happening purely on account of HR initiatives or management initiatives or company initiatives. This is a study by the Harvard Business Review and the Harvard Business School. And it's India-centric numbers. So 1 out of 10 AI users are all in India. 200% increase in self-registered programs, nothing aided by the organization. People are picking them up, they're learning on their own, they're so intuitive, and they're so addictive that people are learning, and they're realizing that some of the most critical upskilling that is required in today's workforce is in AI ML. There's also a thinking that is English or is language a deterrent or is it a bar towards reskilling or upskilling yourself? The answer is no. Across the country today, there are so many indigenous programs and learning opportunities which people are striving towards. So whether you speak Telugu or you speak Tamil or you speak Hindi, people are picking up. And I know this very well because I work in the media industry, and before we think of rolling out a program, people already know it. So I've just given examples of two names, AI for Bharat or Jugalbandi. These are all indigenous platforms that you can go to, take the material, and go 5 steps ahead of your own colleagues in the workplace who are probably sitting in a training program 6 months from now. Rich, poor, there is no bar. So it's becoming very democratic to upskill yourself. 900 million people out of the 1.4 billion people in India are on the internet. And all these upskilling programs or reskilling or retooling programs, whatever you may call it, are available on the net. Many of them for free or almost free access. 180 million users of ChatGPT across the world. India is the second highest. Then the last one, workforce under 30. I think you alluded to the large number of people who are 28. That's the average workforce age in India. Large proportion, 3/4, especially if you just take a look at the males, 3/4 of males under the age of 30 would have started reskilling themselves in AI ML. So whether we like it or we feel, I think many times organizations are far behind on the reskilling and upskilling, and it's a generational push. People are doing it because they want to do it. So what should managers and HR do? Okay, I think the best way to reskill and retool is to think beyond training programs. And I've provided that perspective in my upcoming slides. I think what organizations, Dhruv especially, this is something that we've also spoken about earlier, hire those with better language skills, and you'll be surprised. You'd think that hiring nerdy, geeky people is the way to go when you want to upskill. It's a tech world, so you have to have people who have tech skills or coding skills. It's actually not necessary. AI ML works on language prompts. So the better you prompt it, and I have designers, for example, in my company, who when they generate a picture, the better the language skill, whether in Hindi or English, that's not the issue. The better the language skill, the better they prompt this technology. So you do not need to have people who are necessarily very high tech to be using tech today. The second is know your high performers. Whenever, as a company, you are going to organize those training programs, and I hope we organize them very fast, is that you should retool your high performers first. And there is a statistic behind it. High performers actually ask better questions. I think you mentioned it, Dinesh, that they're problem solvers. High performers, mostly by nature, are better problem solvers. And one of the competencies of a problem solver is they ask better questions. So when you ask better questions, you will get much more out of technology. And many of these reskilling, retooling tools are available to you through technology. They also get better AI advice, and they know how to use AI advice better. So a lay person who is not, who's perhaps a mid-level performer in your organization will not be able to take out so much, from it. Third is, I would encourage organizations as they're thinking about reskilling and retooling, especially in the fast-moving tech space, clean up your process, make it simple, add data, mine data so cleanly, because the technology of tomorrow is going to ride on your data. The better your customer data, the better your insights data, the better your internal data, the better you are going to get out of technology. And very simple and lower people in your organization are going to be able to use the processes better in the future. I would also say build a supporting system. Reskilling and retooling doesn't happen in isolation, and if you want to get the best out of your workforce, these are 4 things that you must do. Avoid a job cut mindset. So unless I have this new skill, I will be out of a job. No, you will not be out of a job, because reskilling and retooling is really simple. It's a lot driven out of initiative. So managements which are probably scaring people, acha AI aa gaya, now tomorrow my job is going to be gone, are going to miss the bus. Encourage friendships, and I don't mean friendships with just human beings inside your company. I mean encourage friendship with ChatGPT. The more you make ChatGPT and on similar systems, friends. It's almost like a human being. I know because I use it. It's like, and many of you here, I think you fall in the same age bracket. If you use ChatGPT like a friend, it starts to respond to you in a similar manner. Okay? So encourage that. Sorry, just went back. The other thing which organizations, and I know that we've done this very well, is to have, and I think you also mentioned it, have different teams in your company. Some will succeed, some will not succeed on the same problems, but don't penalize people who fail. The more they fail, the more you will learn, and they will learn from this, and that's a really important part of reskilling. And incentivize AI adoption tremendously in your organizations. Any field, whether it's an HR person, it's a customer segment person, it's a marketing person, incentivize AI adoption in every single field of your organization, and you will see how quickly, especially the workforce under 30, will upskill on its own. There is also something which you should be aware that, what is something that AI cannot do? And those are the skills, and some of them have been mentioned by Dinesh also. Those are the skills that HR or management initiatives must focus on. Education divide today will start to get blurred with AI. So you can afford to hire people who are less educated, because AI will pick up many of the skills for you. But very important to build in your organization, apart from problem solving, which he mentioned, decision making, judgment, and relationships at work. These are 3 things which AI or any technology in the future will not be able to do for you. So these are 3 skills which must be reskilled and retooled continuously if you want to make many of the things work tomorrow. There is also, on an aside, if you want any reskilling or retooling project to be successful in your company, you first must have resources for it. So I'm just sharing what I've learned. How do you ask for those resources from your management? And perhaps this cartoon sort of says it all. I'm not sure that you can see that cartoon, but there's a boat, they're all enjoying themselves, and all you have to do is, it's an AI project, and you will get all the resources that you need. So that's my input into the reskilling and retooling.
Thank you.